The heart of America beats with a passion for strong spirits, and few names resonate louder in the world of bourbon than Jim Beam. A brand synonymous with quality and tradition, Jim Beam's story is as rich and complex as the bourbon itself. For generations, the Beam family has poured their heart and soul into crafting this iconic American spirit. From humble beginnings in the late 18th century to its current standing as a global powerhouse, Jim Beam's journey is a testament to the enduring legacy of family, resilience, and a commitment to quality. Join us as we delve deep into the captivating history of Jim Beam, raising a toast to the heritage, craftsmanship, and unwavering spirit that have made it a true American icon. From the rolling hills of Kentucky to the bustling bars across the globe, the smooth taste of Jim Beam has etched itself into the fabric of American culture. This isn't just a story about bourbon, it's about the pursuit of a dream, the unwavering dedication to a craft, and the enduring power of family ties. As we embark on this journey through time, we'll uncover the triumphs, the challenges, and the unwavering passion that have shaped Jim Beam into the powerhouse brand it is today. So, pour yourself a glass of your favorite Jim Beam bourbon, sit back, and prepare to be captivated by a tale steeped in tradition, resilience, and the pursuit of perfection. The legacy of Jim Beam is intrinsically linked to the American spirit, a spirit of innovation, determination, and a commitment to excellence. Our story takes us back to the late 18th century, a time of great change and upheaval. The American spirit was taking root, fueled by dreams of opportunity and a thirst for something new. It was during this era that the Boehm family, hailing from Germany, decided to embark on a perilous journey across the Atlantic. Leaving behind their homeland, they were drawn to the promise of a new life in the burgeoning American frontier. These weren't just immigrants, they were pioneers, carrying with them the traditions and skills of their ancestors. Among them was a man named Johannes Jacob Beam, a farmer by trade but with a passion for distilling that ran deep within his veins. Little did he know that this passion would one day lay the foundation for an American legacy.
The journey to America was arduous and fraught with challenges, but the Boehm family persevered, their resolve strengthened by the hope of a brighter future. Upon arriving in Kentucky, they were greeted by a land of immense beauty and fertile soil, perfect for cultivating the grains that would become the lifeblood of their future endeavors.
Jacob Beam, a man of quiet determination and unwavering work ethic, wasted no time in establishing himself as a farmer in his new homeland. He toiled tirelessly, cultivating the land and providing for his family. But amidst the demands of frontier life, Jacob never relinquished the distilling traditions passed down through generations. In the heart of Kentucky, where the air was thick with the scent of corn and rye, Jacob Beam began crafting his own unique style of whiskey. Using a simple copper still and the finest locally sourced grains, he poured his heart and soul into every batch. Word of Jacob's exceptional whiskey spread quickly through the burgeoning settlements.
My neighbors, drawn to the warmth and character of my spirit, would often gather at my homestead, sharing stories and sipping on my latest creation. It was during these convivial gatherings that my whiskey earned a reputation for its smoothness, its distinct flavor profile a testament to my meticulous craftsmanship.
Each sip was a tribute to the land, the legacy of his forefathers, and the unwavering spirit of the American frontier. In 1795, Jacob took a leap of faith, selling his very first barrels of corn whiskey. As the 19th century dawned, America found itself on the cusp of unprecedented growth and transformation. The Industrial Revolution was sweeping across the nation, bringing with it new technologies, expanded infrastructure, and a surge in economic activity. It was during this era of profound change that the reins of the Beam family business were passed to Jacob's son, David Beam. David, a young man of keen business acumen and a deep respect for his father's legacy, recognized the immense potential of this burgeoning market. He understood that to truly thrive in this rapidly evolving landscape, the family business needed to adapt and expand its horizons. With a vision for the future, David set his sights on bringing his family's whiskey to a wider audience. Under David's leadership, the Beam Distillery underwent a period of significant growth. He invested in new equipment, modernized production techniques, and, perhaps most importantly, recognized the power of efficient distribution. David understood that to reach new customers, he needed to capitalize on the expanding network of railroads that were rapidly connecting the nation. In 1854, David made a pivotal decision that would shape the future of the Beam family business. Passing the torch, a new generation takes hold. The year was 1854. The United States was expanding westward, fueled by the spirit of manifest destiny. In Kentucky, the Beam family distillery, now firmly established under David Beam's leadership, was also experiencing a period of growth and transformation. David, now a seasoned distiller with decades of experience under his belt, recognized the need to prepare for the future. With a keen eye for talent and an unwavering belief in family, he began entrusting his son, David M. Beam, with greater responsibilities within the distillery. The younger David, a quick study with an entrepreneurial spirit, eagerly absorbed the knowledge and expertise passed down by his father. He shared his father's vision for expansion and recognized the importance of adapting to the changing times. Together, father and son worked tirelessly, expanding the distillery's operations and refining their craft, always striving to produce the highest quality bourbon. The transition of leadership from father to son was seamless, a testament to the strong bonds and shared values that lay at the heart of the Beam family. Embracing progress, the railroad and the rise of Old Tub. The railroad, a marvel of modern engineering, was rapidly changing the landscape of America. It connected distant communities, facilitated trade, and opened up new markets for businesses across the nation. David M. Beam, ever the astute businessman, recognized the transformative potential of this new technology. He saw the railroad not just as a means of transportation, but as a conduit to connect his family's bourbon with a wider audience. With the railroad came a surge in demand for Beam's bourbon. The distillery, now strategically located near a major rail line, could efficiently transport its product to distant cities and towns. David M. Beam seized this opportunity, expanding production to meet the growing thirst for his family's smooth, flavorful bourbon. The Beam name, once known only to locals in Kentucky, was now traveling across state lines, carried on the iron rails that were connecting a nation. Up until this point, the Beam family had sold their whiskey in bulk, relying on customers to bring their own jugs to be filled directly from the source. A legacy endures. From father to son, the Beam spirit flows. As the 19th century drew to a close, the Beam family distillery stood as a testament to the enduring power of family, tradition, and the unwavering pursuit of quality. David M. Beam, having successfully guided the business through an era of unprecedented growth and transformation, watched with pride as a new generation prepared to take the helm. His son, James Beauregard Beam, born in 1864, possessed the same entrepreneurial spirit and unwavering dedication to the family craft that had defined generations before him.
I grew up amidst the sweet aroma of mash fermenting and the rhythmic clang of copper stills. I learned the art of distilling from my father and grandfather, inheriting their meticulous attention to detail and their unwavering commitment to producing the finest Kentucky bourbon. I was eager to make my own mark on the family legacy.
Under Jim's watchful eye, the Beam distillery continued to thrive, its reputation for quality and consistency spreading far beyond the borders of Kentucky. He embraced new technologies and innovations, always seeking ways to improve efficiency and enhance the quality of their bourbon, while remaining steadfastly committed to the time-honored traditions passed down through generations. Jim understood that the success of the Beam family business was not just about making bourbon, it was about preserving a legacy. The dawn of the 20th century brought with it a period of unprecedented turbulence and uncertainty to the American landscape. The winds of change were sweeping across the nation, carrying with them a wave of social reform that would forever alter the course of history. In 1920, the United States ushered in the era of Prohibition, a nationwide constitutional ban on the production, importation, transportation, and sale of alcoholic beverages.
For the Beam family, whose very livelihood was intertwined with the art of distilling, the impact of Prohibition was devastating. The distillery, once a bustling hub of activity, fell silent. The rhythmic clang of copper stills, the sweet aroma of mash fermenting, the camaraderie of generations working side by side. All of it vanished, replaced by an eerie stillness that hung heavy in the air.
But James B. Beam, a man of unwavering resilience and a deep-seated belief in his family's legacy, refused to let Prohibition extinguish the flame that had burned brightly for over a century. These were dark times for distillers across America, but Jim Beam was determined to weather the storm. He knew that the heart of his family's business lay dormant, waiting for the day it could once again come alive.
During these challenging years, I explored alternative ventures, seeking ways to sustain my family and keep our dream alive.
After 13 long years, the dry spell finally came to an end. In 1933, Prohibition was repealed, ushering in a new era of hope and optimism.
It was a chance to rebuild, to rekindle the flame of my family's legacy.
Jim Beam wasted no time in resurrecting his family's beloved distillery. The once dormant stills roared back to life, the sweet aroma of mash filled the air.
I chose to rebuild the distillery in Clermont, Kentucky. The new distillery was a symbol of resilience and hope.
The rebirth of the Beam Distillery was a deeply personal triumph. With the distillery back in operation, James B. Beam made a decision that would forever alter his family's legacy. In 1943, he renamed his family's bourbon after himself, marking a new era of prosperity. And so, Jim Beam Bourbon was born, synonymous with quality and the American dream.
The name Jim Beam was a symbol of resilience and family heritage.
Under the Jim Beam banner, the bourbon reached new heights of popularity. Jim Beam Bourbon became a staple in bars and liquor cabinets across America.
The year is 1945. World War II had just ended, and America was entering a new era of prosperity and growth.
The Jim Beam brand under James B. Beam was experiencing unprecedented success. The American spirits industry was changing, with larger corporations dominating the market. James B. Beam sold the company to Harry Blum, a prominent Chicago spirits merchant.
Blum recognized the value of the Jim Beam brand and was committed to upholding its legacy. He expanded the brand's reach and introduced it to a wider audience.
Under Blum's leadership, Jim Beam thrived, solidifying its position as a leading American bourbon. The transition marked a significant turning point, ensuring the brand's future. The American spirits industry was undergoing consolidation in the latter half of the 20th century. In 1968, Jim Beam, under Harry Blum, was acquired by American Brands. Despite the acquisition, Jim Beam maintained its distinct identity and commitment to quality. This strategic approach allowed Jim Beam to grow and solidify its position in the bourbon industry. Acquisitions included brands like Old Crow, Bourbon Deluxe, Old Taylor, Old Grandad, and Sunny Brook. This expansion transformed Jim Beam into a global spirits giant. As the 20th century drew to a close, the Jim Beam brand thrived within Fortune Brands. Its popularity showed no signs of waning. The global spirits industry was transforming, driven by evolving consumer preferences and emerging markets. In 2011, Fortune Brands spun off its spirits division, creating Beam Inc., listed on the NYSE. This move signaled a new era for Jim Beam. In 2014, Beam Inc. merged with Suntory Holdings, creating Beam Suntory, a global spirits powerhouse. The merger brought together shared values of quality and craftsmanship.
The merger marked a significant milestone for Jim Beam, providing access to new markets, especially in Asia. It fostered the sharing of knowledge and resources.
Under Beam Suntory, Jim Beam remained a flagship brand, bolstered by the resources and global reach of a spirits giant. Trial by fire, the 2003 Bardstown warehouse fire. The year was 2003. Summer had descended upon Kentucky. In Bardstown, the Jim Beam distillery stood as a testament to generations of craftsmanship. But on a fateful August day, tragedy struck. A lightning storm raged overhead. A bolt of lightning struck one of the aging warehouses. Within minutes, the warehouse was engulfed in flames. The fire raged uncontrollably, sending plumes of thick black smoke billowing into the sky. Firefighters battled the blaze tirelessly. News of the fire spread rapidly, sending shockwaves through the tight-knit bourbon community. The 2003 Bardstown warehouse fire would go down as one of the most significant disasters in Jim Beam's history. from ashes to advocacy, environmental impact, and lessons learned. The 2003 Bardstown warehouse fire consumed 15,000 barrels of bourbon. Thousands of gallons of burning bourbon flowed into a nearby creek. The alcohol influx proved disastrous for aquatic life. Jim Beam faced scrutiny, prompting a renewed commitment to environmental responsibility. The disaster highlighted the need for improved fire suppression and containment measures. The fire became a catalyst for positive change in the bourbon industry. The 2019 warehouse fire and a proactive approach. In July 2019, another Jim Beam warehouse in Woodford County, Kentucky, went up in flames. The fire consumed 45,000 barrels of bourbon. Jim Beam had implemented stricter safety protocols and advanced fire suppression technologies. The swift response prevented the fire from spreading and minimized environmental impact. Containment ponds captured runoff, preventing water contamination. The fire highlighted Jim Beam's commitment to safety and environmental responsibility. A legacy forged in oak and time. From Jacob Beam's old Jake Beam Sour Mash to Beam Suntory's modern branding, Jim Beam's journey is a testament to American ingenuity and resilience. For over 2 centuries, the Beam family has crafted bourbon embodying the American spirit, a spirit of independence, innovation, and quality. Today, Jim Beam is a global icon, enjoyed in over 200 countries, bringing people together over shared stories and laughter, a legacy forged in oak and time, passed down through generations. Cheers to Jim Beam, a true American original.